You're listening to The Raw Reaction on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 11:47. We're about to react to Raw. This is the Angry Tensai. With me, as always, is the biggest of Big Dick, and we have a little bit of a somber tone here. You're not hearing me kick it into high gear because a sports legend has just passed on. A man who in the ring was unmatched, unparalleled. He was a guy that shaped the generation. And I'm talking about none other than Kimbo Slice of the MMA world tonight. Big Dick, how you feeling?
You know, I don't say this lightly. Don't really know what happened here. Definitely for the sport. Sucks for fight fans, wrestling, any squared circle fans out there. I mean, whether it be boxing, wrestling, MMA, it's a tough loss. I mean, it literally came out a couple minutes ago. Not a fun thing to hear about. But
the guy shaped the generation. I mean, I think in the sports world this week, nothing is going to top Kimbo Slice. I mean, this is big news. It just happened, and I'm a big Kimbo fan. He just beat the iconic and legendary Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man, WWE legend. One of the greatest MMA martial artists ever. I don't know what to say, man. It's a tough week.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, between losing him,
Kimbo Slice. Kimbo Slice. We lost Kimbo Slice this week, and that sucks. And
Muhammad Ali is old news. Just last week.
Who?
Also, Muhammad Ali. You've heard of him before? He's like not quite to the level of Mike Tyson.
I think you were talking about there's a great fight, Muhammad Ali versus Trevor Berbick. If you YouTube it, you can watch the fight.
I've YouTubed it a couple of times this weekend.
But when Tyson fought Berbick, there was a different result. Berbick got knocked out.
Yeah.
But why are you talking about that? Why are you talking about it? Kimbo Slice just went, man. You kidding me? You know I'm a big Kimbo guy.
No, I know. Kimbo's definitely your boy, man. It's not a very, very shitty situation.
We're supposed to be reacting to Raw. I know it stinks, but it's really, people are dropping like flies tonight. You know who else dropped like a fly tonight? Bernie Sanders. He got knocked out.
Oh, wow.
He got dropped.
Wow. That's a sore subject to many, many people living on their parents' couch.
Hey, listen, man.
Or in their basement.
We have a presidential race on our hands. We have Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump, two very formidable competitors. We're going to have a new president. It's almost like the Royal Rumble when it was down to Dean Ambrose and Triple H. You know what? Roman Reigns is outside the ring, that being Barack Obama. We're going to have a new champion, and unfortunately Bernie, he's kind of like the the Adam Rose of this thing. He just got kind of tossed over, and that's it. He's gone, never to be heard from again. Thanks for coming out, bro. It's too bad. But
Killer Cav's biting his tongue right now.
The majority has spoken. We are a democracy, and the majority has spoken. The better person won. That's why we have elections, and I trust the American public to choose to the majority. They choose. Their voice has been heard. And
it is a beautiful democracy that we live in, my friend.
And honestly, I think it's safe to say of the demise of Bernie and Kimbo tonight, one is more important, and that is the great athletic accomplishments of Kimbo Slice, who rose to YouTube fame, and he was winning, not losing like this guy did. He wins. and he does a lot of winning. And we're gonna be. Let me tell you something, Kevin Vick. We're gonna be winning a lot. We're gonna be winning so much. You guys are gonna get sick of it. Just be on the lookout. We're gonna be winning a lot in the next coming months. We're gonna be winning so much because we don't win anymore, guys. We just don't win anymore, and we're gonna win a lot. We're gonna win so much.
Angry Tensai. Hold on a second. I want to stop you right here because you're not doing very good, but I want to give you a trophy. Now, I have a question for you, Angry Tensai. Your child, I've heard he's a soccer prodigy, a young soccer prodigy who's been recruited highly by exclusive camps. Now, I have a question for you. If he doesn't try very hard, doesn't do very well, does he get a trophy?
No, I hate to say it. I would say, dude, you got to work a little harder.
Yeah, maybe next year put it in. But I mean, unfortunately, Barack Obama is giving everybody a trophy.
Well, we don't need to. He's our current president. We don't speak ill of the president ever.
Bernie Sanders is giving him trophies.
Well,
he was having the trophies made.
The good news is he will go into obscurity like William Jennings Bryan to never be heard of again. He's another name. He's another Michael Dukakis. We'll see you. He's riding into the night. But you know what? Correct me if I'm wrong, but did John Cena not say Bullet Club on WWE TV tonight? Did I hear that correctly?
It sounded like he did. I don't know if he said Bullet or Bullet Club. Trying to be clever there. But I don't know. Like maybe they have to pay New Japan some money for that or what?
No, he just said it. He said you went and got yourself the Bullet Club. And I was like, whoa. Why did he say that?
Yeah, I've never heard of this Bullet Club. I don't know.
Well, no, I've heard of the Bullet Club. He's just not supposed to say it on air, but I don't know. I mean, I guess just kicking into it. The one part of the show I did like, and I am into, and the part I really liked last week is this new feud between John Cena and the club, being AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson. I think AJ Styles versus John Cena is going to be a great match, and at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and I'm not convinced John Cena is going to win it. I think he's going to put AJ Styles over. I really do, and I think
I think you have to. I wish that you have to, because what has AJ Styles done since he got back? He's
done well.
He's come out with great reactions. Don't get me wrong, decent on the mic, but he hasn't won very much. He's not won very much.
I don't think at any point he may get the title, but I don't know, man. I just feel like he's going to be hot for a while. I think the crowd's behind him. I think WWE really likes his work. I see him. I see Seth Rollins getting the title either, whether it be a Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. And I think the next logical feud for Seth Rollins after Roman Reigns is AJ Styles. I think AJ is going to be in this top tier main event. I think we're going to have him in the main event picture all the way through December. And then I think finally come like Royal Rumble time, he's going to cool off and he'll sink down in the card for a while. But I really think he's going to get, I think this major run, I think he's in a great run. He's main evented the last 3 pay-per-views, dude. I mean, I don't think it matters if he's winning or not. I mean, he's booked strong. Hell.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely is. And you know what? I mean, I'll give him credit because he did actually get 2 wins or 2 decisions over Roman Reigns at that first pay-per-view with he had a count out and a disqualification.
Right.
But they restarted the match both times. So I mean, I'll give him credit. And he's done a lot of good work. I'll give him credit there. But I think that there's no upside to Cena winning.
No. I agree.
So I feel like it's going to be Styles. And you know what? It might be with a low blow, or it might be with Bullet Club, or it might be with Weapon, or some Hooker Crook. He's gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a phenomenal match before that happens. And who knows? Maybe that's maybe this match will be the catalyst for a Finn Balor debut.
Well, like tonight they booked the New Day versus the Club, Anderson, Gallows, and Styles. And Styles got the win with his flying forearm off the top, and he looked strong. And, you're going to see Styles continuously win up until this match with John Cena. And maybe, they won't, the New Day are very high profile. Maybe they'll just put AJ Styles in just classic squash matches against discarded scrubs that don't matter anymore. Like maybe they'll put him up against Bernie Sanders. I don't know. Be an easy win.
Oh, wow.
Everybody else beats him.
Hey, don't worry. I'm sure even after the match, Bernie Sanders will get a trophy.
He's been beaten 40 or 44 states, but he keeps showing up, It's great. He's great. I love the guy. But, I think as much as they love him, AJ Styles needs the win. So, I think AJ is as hot as he's going to be. And I think this is the feud to really trigger the club. I think Cena's doing a good job out there. I'm excited about this. This is good. This is enough for me to actually want to watch Money in the Bank. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be 4 good matches. To be honest with you, I don't know who's going to win any of them. Of the 4, I mean, I think probably the most I think there's 4 matches that are announced so far. I mean, probably my best guess in any of them on the outcome would be Styles beating Cena. But I think that'll probably be the best match of them all.
I agree with you. This is a very evenly booked. I hate to say it, but Money in the Bank on paper, maybe the pay-per-view of the year. I mean, really. I mean, it's really good. I mean, Reigns and Rollins have an incredible backstory. We've all been waiting for Rollins to show up again. In fact, I just don't think you know what I think's missing from the Reigns Rollins feud, and it's still going to be cool and everybody's pumped up for it. But Triple H not being involved in it, he really did create a lot of the animosity between those guys, and his mic work is so strong. I think Triple H not being involved in this, it kind of hurts this whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you, but at the same time, there's still next week's Raw, which I think they're going to push this match, and a pay-per-view, which he can show up at.
Well, I like how Reigns is like so pissed off he's barely saying anything, and then Rollins is just messing with him. So, I mean, if you're a Reigns fan, you're like, you can't wait to see Rollins get his comeuppance. And if you're a Rollins fan, you just love him antagonizing Reigns. So, to somebody like us that maybe just doesn't mind them, I mean, I'm not a Reigns fan by any means, but I don't think he should have a title, but I don't think he's bad for WWE like some people make him out to be. And Rollins is super talented. I'm just not personally a huge fan of him. I mean, I think he's great. I think he's an awesome champion and he's got a lot of great stuff. He's not somebody I'm like, oh man, I hope he's the guy carrying the belt. You know what I mean? So if you're one of those people, I think this is a big match for you.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Like, I want AJ Styles to have the belt. That's what I want. I really believe he should be champion. He's carried WWE the last couple of months. Yeah,
no, you know what? You're right. But at the same time, this is his debut. I mean, I think WWE, they've done a good job of building up stars and not necessarily hot-shotting them to outside of AJ Styles getting a good run. I mean, if they put the belt on him 3 months into his career in WWE, I think it sort of gives all the wrestlers in NXT and wrestlers like what's his name, like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, like those guys. Kevin Owens, I mean, he's done phenomenal for the last year plus, and I don't think he's had a title shot yet. So to hot shot somebody from the outside there, I think that would be perceived. I get put him in a main event for his shot and give him Cena and let him win another feud or two down the road. But I think that WWE was smart not to put the title on him.
You know what though? I do agree with you to a point, but to what you said about Owens, what bothers me, the one thing that bothers me about the Money in the Bank match is he's so dominant in the whole makeup and the whole lead up that I don't think there's any way he wins the match, and that's unfortunate because he's the guy that should win the match. So I'm not positive he won't. I think it's just too obvious that if he does. So I'm gonna say, and this is gonna surprise you, and I actually am convinced of it after tonight's match with Sami Zayn. WWE surprised me with letting Alberto Del Rio beat Sami Zayn so convincingly. I'm convinced Del Rio actually finally going to get his push out of his back.
Wow, that's I almost feel like he would benefit from having it, not necessarily just short term, even getting a title match, but to hold it for the next year or so, or not even a year, like to hold it for the next 6 months. That would sort of catapult him back to put the League of Nations on the back burner. I mean, he suffered the most out of that little.
He was hot until and I think you could just. I mean, he's really a good worker, and he's incredible on the mic, and his manner. Oh, yeah. I'm actually like a big fan of him now that he's back, and I really didn't like him in his last WWE run, but just like from the minute he showed up, man, I've just been into him, and just his mannerisms, like in that Money in the Bank, like just watching the other wrestlers talk and the way he was like standing on the ladder and stuff. He's just like, he looks like he's just too good to be there, and he looks like he just doesn't want to be there. But in character, yeah, obviously he wants to win the match. So I'm not saying he physically doesn't want to be there, but his arrogance of his character is portrayed so, like, he just looks like, I'm a multiple-time world champion. You guys are all a bunch of scrubs. Even though he's not saying that, he's got it, man. I really think, he would be, you insert him into the Reigns, Rollins, Styles area. I mean, I think he fits very well with that crop of champions. Where he doesn't fit well is like the Cenas and all the bigger wrestlers physically bigger wrestlers that have held the belt. Brock Lesnar, he just doesn't stack up well to Lesnar, Cena, and guys like that, but he's very good, in my opinion, against this crop of guys that are going after.
Or like AJ Styles, he put on a hell of a match against. Like,
well, speaking of which,
smaller.
Right, I agree, but speaking of which, how do you feel about Lesnar announcing he's going to fight Mark Hunt at UFC 200?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if WWE got a cut out of it, or B, laughing all the way to the bank with it, because I mean, shit, it's like he's gone back for the biggest pay-per-view in whatever, how many years they've had it. They've had number 100 was a huge one. It's number 200 for them. So I mean, WWE's going to be tickled, because I don't think they had much use for them until right after the brand split leading up to SmackDown. And guess what? They're going to have something that's going to be even more impressive than Paul Heyman coming out and telling us his name is Paul Heyman and he's the advocate for Brock Lesnar. They're going to have something a lot more interesting to talk about over the next month leading up to that match rather than it's almost like the real, hey, like, and I think that this goes on part of why WWE came to an agreement with ESPN to sort of get into more of the mainstream sports fans, where you don't necessarily have all sports fans follow WWE, but that's a good way to sort of enter to that market.
I'll tell you one thing. I follow enough MMA. I know who Mark Hunt is. He's been around for a long time, and he is a heavy striker. The guy can fight. But I'm going to tell you something. People are like, oh, this is a big match. It's a tough fighter. Brock Lesnar is not getting in this ring unless he's 1,000%. Brock Lesnar is going to smash this guy into the effing ground. And last time Brock Lesnar was healthy, it was against the UFC champion at the time, jerk MMA legend to all the little fanboys, Randy Couture, and he was embarrassed and humiliated by the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. It took a nasty disease to bring down the great Brock Lesnar. And I will tell you right now, if he's back to his form, first off, unlike these jabronis that just learn how to fight in these dungeons, Brock Lesnar is a NCAA national champion. This man is going to dominate and decimate this guy, and it's going to be awesome. And WWE is going to have some fun with it, and it's going to be great, and I can't wait.
Brock Lesnar did something that Maurice Worthy could not even do, becoming the NCAA champion.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. When Brock Lesnar's done with Mark Hunt, he could join Bernie on the couch, if you know what I'm saying. Because both of them aren't going to be doing anything. Come on, man.
Oh, God. Oh God.
Why?
I have a question for you. Who is the mysterious seventh man in the Money in the Bank match?
I don't think there's going to be. Is there going to be?
I think so, because they put up the graphics with 7 of them. So I mean, maybe I think they either bring somebody back, or I mean, they decide to debut somebody like Finn Balor or Samoa Joe or somebody at the and have them either run in at the pay-per-view or run in during next week's Raw.
Who makes Kentucky Fried Chicken?
KFC, baby.
Well, who created the recipe for KFC?
Colonel Sanders.
Who is the greatest Lions running back of all time?
Barry Sanders.
These are just things you need to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. But you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just in awe tonight of the things that are going down, and it's just the Kimbo Slice.
Much shit's happening, man. It's like this past weekend. It's like there's lots of shit happening.
Kimbo Slice, man. I
know. Kimbo Slice is the big deal. You want to know what today is actually? It's a very happy day. Bring back happy memories for me also. You too, probably. This time last year, we were drunk off our asses at Beaumont Park, listening to the Goo Goo Dolls.
You know, we were, and you know, in fact, I owe you for that beautiful bottle for American Pharaoh. But I told my mom actually forgot to bring it up this weekend.
Oh God!
And she was like really apologetic. I said, Mom, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal because I don't need it. She's like, well, what if you want to drink it? I go, no, Mom. I will tell you when I'm going to open that up. And she goes, well, when are you going to open it up? I said, I'm going to open that up with the kids when the next Grand Slam winner happens. And she goes, well, when do you think that'll be? I go, probably 50 or 60 years from now, so you can hold on to the bottle for a while.
Yeah, you're scraping dust off that thing.
Dude,
your kids will be able to drink.
The next Grand Slam winner, I'm going to open that on that day.
Oh, wow, next Grand Slam winner, not even Triple Crown.
Triple Crown means nothing. Anyone can win the Triple Crown. There's only been one Grand Slam winner. It's not 3 races. It's not 2 races. It's 4. Excuse me, 5. 5. And it's going to be the real Grand Slam. Excuse me. I just made a mistake there. I'm really sorry, Vic. I don't mean to disrespect the Breeders' Cup like that because people forget that's the 5th race. Of course, we all know the real Grand Slam. The 4 races, which is the Belmont, the Preakness, the Belmont, the Preakness, the Kentucky Derby, and of course the Monmouth Haskell in New Jersey. You gotta remember that one. And then the Breeders' Cup. Now some would say, what if said horse wins the Triple Crown and skips Monmouth but wins the Breeders? You didn't win the Grand Slam.
That's cowardly.
It's cowardly. It's a coward's way out. It's a coward's way out. And it's not fair to all the other horses that ran the other 4 legs. It's coward's way out. Coward's way out. That's exactly what the owner of California Chrome used, that term, coward's way out.
Dude, if it was like basketball against a little kid in a wheelchair, that wouldn't be very fair.
No, it's like playing a kid in a wheelchair. That was the worst reference. Why did he use that?
It's like, okay, it's like, I get your argument, but you took it a little bit too far, sir.
Terrible.
Speaking of taking it a little bit too far, this is also, do you follow college rapes across the country?
What? No.
Yeah. Did you hear about the guy, the swimmer, this happened like a year or 2 ago, a swimmer for Stanford. He was like a freshman in college. He was drunk and some chick passed out, and he was like, I don't even know what he was raping her with, something that wasn't his penis, but he was like definitely raping her with something when she was passed out, and he just got sent.
Was it a Seth Rollins bobblehead doll?
That may have been exactly what it was. But anyway, like he ended up getting arrested for this, getting charged. Like she pressed charges against him, whatever. He got charged and got convicted of rape. And they just recently, like this past week, sentenced him. And his sentence was he had he was looking at up to 6 years in jail or something. I think he pled down. He ended up getting, 6 years in jail. He ended up getting 6 months in jail, and basically he gets out in 2 weeks or something because he's already served a bunch of time waiting for the decision on it. And it just came out this past day or two. The father, first of all, the lady who got raped, she wrote something talking about oh my gosh, it's horrible and whatever. What do you sort of expect? The father put something together, and it sort of, a lot of it was the guy was the victim, and then in the thing he quoted something along the lines of, this wasn't really worth it for 20 minutes of action, or something along those lines. It was really poorly worded. He shouldn't lose everything for 20 minutes of action.
Horrible.
Something like that. Made it sound like it was him getting. I don't think that's what the father intended to have it say, but it really is. Wow, it's okay.
I'm a little disturbed. Vic, are you still with us?
Yo.
I think you got cut off.
Vic, are you there?
Yo.
There he is.
There he is. Well, Vic, you kind of lost.
Hold on a second. I'm having trouble here.
Kimbo
Slice.
Horrible.
But, anyway, so, speaking of bad decisions, Bernie Sanders made one by running.
You got to feel bad for the guy, He really...
I'm not even sure the one good thing that I feel like came out of this is that he's so old and decrepit that he doesn't realize he's probably part of it is just some delusions of
grandeur.
Being grandeur. Yeah. But I wouldn't even say grandeur. I think maybe just delusions of not even knowing what the hell is going on.
I don't know. Kill Kev, anything you want to add about the elimination, the loss, the job, the 1, 2, 3 on Bernie Sanders tonight?
The elections aren't even until tomorrow.
He lost. It's over.
It's not over yet.
Well, I was on CNN, and CNN, which is very fair.
Wait, CNN, I've heard it's a reputable news source. I'm not sure, though.
CNN said, cover, clinched. Clinton will be the first woman nominated by a major party. Congratulations. How CNN made the count. Clinton's historic moment. Then I go to Fox News, FAUX News, and they say, AP, Clinton clinches Dem nod. Hillary hits delegate magic number. Sanders challenges reported that. A big surprise. Bernie sore loser. Big surprise. You didn't get enough votes, bro, and you've been getting smashed for months now. Give it up, man. I do like that, though. I do like that about him. He's got that never say die attitude. But remember the candidate we talked about a few months ago, D's Nuts? The kid who was running, the 15-year-old that was running Colorado? These Nuts.
I think he's still running.
Yeah, but he wanted to keep running, but at some point he knew he had to pull out, right? I mean, same thing. Little Marco wanted to be president. Little Marco's a great guy. But Little Marco,
he seemed like such a go-getter.
I'm going to go to one other news source. Clinton makes history. One big step for women and an even bigger step for America. Clinton hits magic number for nomination. So, MSNBC, Fox News, and CNN are calling it over. Kev, are these sources enough for you to maybe accept this?
No.
Why? That's awesome, by the way. Why?
Because the elections aren't until tomorrow.
What elections?
New Jersey. New Jersey, you know everything rests with New Jersey.
I'm from New Jersey. Vic's from New Jersey. I can promise you, Bernie Sanders is never in a million years going to win New Jersey. It ain't happening.
Yeah. Donald Trump is going to dominate New Jersey, not because he has to, but because he wants to.
States that have never been on the board are on the board now. And I can tell you, again, being from New Jersey, people in New York, New Jersey love Donald Trump. The problem is they're all scared to come out and tell people that they'll vote for this guy. Now me, I'm not voting for anyone. I have no horse in this race. However, a lot of guys are afraid and they're just not going to come out. And maybe they would say, "Well, I'm not going to vote. I have no horse in this race." That's the PC thing to do. Oh wait,
yeah, people say that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, last time I checked, you don't your Facebook feed does not scroll directly to your voting booth block.
No, it does not.
Like,
and
when I go make my selection in the election booth, nobody's going to know whether it's Bernie Sanders,
right,
or these nuts, or Hillary Rodham Clinton.
I might vote for Golden Truth. Both of them.
Dude, that's a good ticket. The golden ticket. It's like Willy Wonka. I said ticket.
When did Kevin Randleman die?
Who's that?
Was an MMA fighter. I didn't realize he died.
Yeah, he died several months ago.
What happened to him?
I don't remember offhand.
What do you think it is? You think all these guys are hitting steroids? What do you think the problem is?
Probably.
Hearts
get too big?
Well, I know in the case of
WWE.
I know in Kimbo's case, he definitely did have a heart problem. So
that's crazy, man.
Well, he got pinched for juicing a couple times recently too.
Interesting. What do you think about in the Money in the Bank the Money in the Bank kind of break off matches tonight? What do you think of Cesaro making Jericho?
I think he looked great. I think he looked great. That move
really
off top rope, freaking spectacular. It doesn't surprise me. I don't think Jericho. I've sort of been waiting for Jericho to die off here, like his run die off.
He's done well.
What's that?
He's done well.
No, he's done really good. And I mean, not just he's won matches that they didn't think he was going to win, and I mean, it almost feel like, hey, it's like, okay, we lost the last pay-per-view. That's going to sort of be it. That's going to be the end of his run. And he just comes back for more. It's like he's planning a Fozzy concert, but hasn't got a start date yet for it. So he just continues to tour with WWE and make bank until then. But, I like this. To be honest with you, a dark horse in the Money in the Bank, and I definitely jock Cesaro too much, but I think that he could get a rub here. I don't think he needs it, but I think that WWE, they can be sold that his shoulder's better and that he can actually make a run at this.
I'd be okay with that. I think it would make sense, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think that that's the way they're gonna go. I'm not sure. I really am not. I have no idea, to be honest with you. Del Rio is my best guess, but I could easily be wrong there.
I think Kevin Owens and Del Rio are probably two of the favorites.
Let me ask you this. Does Dean Ambrose not own Kevin Owens? I mean, he beats him every time they wrestle. He owns him.
He really does. Yeah, he really does. And, I mean, this could be a good long feud if WWE wanted to make it a good long feud. And, I mean, they could turn it into literally just every pay-per-view for like the next 3 months and then have them wrestle on Raw and SmackDown and have just turn into like a really nasty feud. But I think that WWE is waiting for Sami Zayn to get a little bit more established and then have Kevin Owens pick up their feud. And maybe, at some point, maybe even have them tag together and then have the feud restart at some point.
Right. Well, you can do a lot out of this match, I would say the one person I'm sure is not going to win is Sami Zayn. They're not putting the WWE title on him. I know that. I'm pretty sure of that.
Although it's interesting to watch in interviews. Like his interview today, it was almost like, hey, I'm sort of happy to be here and like really humble, and Del Rio's a great champ. Like,
Paperboy.
You know what? That's sort of what I was getting. He's sort of very, very passive, and like, hey, you know what? It's great to be unassuming with stuff like this, but at the same time, I mean, you gotta have winner's mentality and think that you're going to dominate. You need to have an ego. And almost, at least in the interview that he put on, it just seemed like he didn't have an ego at all. And it was just like trying to put over everybody else. I get that that's good for your rap with the fans, but at the same time, it doesn't make you feel like you're going to win. I think that him and Jericho are the two definitely don't win it.
I think Zayn is a modern day Tommy Dreamer.
That's interesting. I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say Daniel Bryan for a second, and then I realized, wait a second, that's just because he's a scrappy underdog with a beard doesn't mean that he's Daniel Bryan. I'm trying to think who. That's a good analogy there. I like that.
He's like always like, you know, in the ECW, he was like always in the main feuds and stuff, but he just never could win the big one, and he can never beat Raven. You know, it's a story that's been told before. But I don't know. It should be interesting to see. Who
he likes it. He's good. He's good with the fans. People like him. He's good with the fans. He's not gonna. I'm fairly confident he's never gonna turn heel. So I don't know. I think that that's sort of his strength. And I'll watch WWE tournament the next pay-per-view just to prove me wrong. But you know what? I like Raw tonight. I think you made mention earlier you thought it was some lazy booking with some of the stuff. Yeah, it probably is. But I like the build up. The thing is, I like the build up for the pay-per-view. I mean, I want to see matches that are going to be meaningful. They put together an awesome tag team match, and they sort of got into those matchups tonight, and then they separated the guys from the Money in the Bank. And I have a bad feeling that it's going to be that the next person in the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is going to be like or somebody who doesn't have a chance to win, or Sin Cara, or Chavo. But
or
Crooked Hillary. Oh man, you know what? I don't mind Bernie Sanders because at least he's not crooked.
What about Little Marco?
Poor Little Marco. I want Donald Trump to give me a nickname.
Poor Bernie is so irrelevant. Trump didn't even give him a nickname.
Yeah, I mean it's even like Elizabeth Warren. It's funny because he just comes up with like adjectives to put in front of the names, and they stick. It's like goofy Elizabeth Warren. Like it doesn't rhyme or anything. It just throw goofy in front there.
I love.
And then he also calls her Pocahontas, which is hilarious.
An angry Bernie Sanders response to Hillary's nomination. Like, what's this fucking guy's problem? It's like, you lost, dude. Like, get over it.
You know what? I think Bernie Sanders should run with D's nuts.
Maybe. I hope he does run as a third-party candidate. I think he'd be a great choice.
He'd be a great choice to separate the Democratic Party and basically let Trump make America great again. So I have a question for you. What are your thoughts on Teddy Long?
Why did they bring him back tonight to embarrass him?
I don't know. I mean, I almost felt like this, and again, I don't know what's happened. I don't know what the hell's going on with his contract. Kev, maybe you know this. But I almost feel like this was like when they let Vicky Guerrero go, and they ended up having her fall into have a retirement match where she fell into like a pool of like mud or something. And I almost feel like that was like when he got let out. First of all, I didn't even realize they had metal detectors backstage for people coming in. But they basically they show him walking out the door and like hanging his head and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so he's either going to be running SmackDown or he's basically retiring from whatever the hell he does now. Which I assume he's the Lonely Virgil's agent on the road. But I don't know. It's pretty funny though because he comes out and he'll be like, play a please.
You know. I don't know where they're going, but it looks like Stephanie's picking up SmackDown.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Triple H picks it up.
Well, I don't like the tag team. By the way, I mean, oh my God, did Big Cass just unleash hell on the Vaudevillains tonight? That was pretty funny. But for some reason, the Vaudevillains are rewarded with a tag team title match. Those two will take on Big Cass and Enzo and the New Day and Gallows and Anderson in a fatal 4-way at the pay-per-view for the tag titles. Interesting match.
I think they finally lose the straps.
Gallows and Anderson all the way. It should have been the Vaudevillains earlier, but Gallows and Anderson they're hot now. It's time. They're gonna win this one.
You know what's funny? And I think it's funny because I actually hate this tag team, but the Usos are not even going to be on this pay-per-view.
Good.
And they were literally getting pushed to the moon as Reigns is as their family or cousins or whatever the heck. They are co-Samoans. But yeah, I mean, it's well deserved. Maybe the Usos could come back. Maybe they could start a WWE Superstar feud with the Shining Stars. That could be interesting. It could be Island versus Island, Ocean versus Ocean, tacky gimmick versus tacky gimmick. Although I will give this Shining Stars credit though, and I meant to mention this last week, but I forgot to. But their first match that they had, I think it was against two scrubs. They won. They actually worked really good as a tag team. They wrestled well together, and made some just really cool moves that I thought were pretty impressive. Unfortunately, I don't know. The gimmick they have right now is just not a strong one.
No. Well, it should be an interesting pay-per-view coming up for sure. I don't know. Did I miss anything? There was the Becky Lynch thing. I mean, that was just...
Is it turning into a tag match? I'm thinking.
I don't understand it.
I don't know. They're putting them all together, and I think it's gonna be a tag match pay-per-view.
Like what's her name? The new chick. Like she was gonna turn on Charlotte, right?
Yeah, that's sort of stupid. But whatever. I mean, they can try.
Brooke Phoenix is her name.
Brooke Phoenix. Yes, she is a gigantic and very masculine young lady. It didn't appear as if she had an Adam's apple nose, so that's a good thing.
I'm very upset. I'm very upset about all the downfalls tonight, man. I can't get over it.
Yeah, Kimbo's tough one, man.
And the Colonel went down.
Man, it's a sad day for Colonel Bernie Sanders.
Poor Colonel, man. And honestly, he's gonna take all these 4 simple-minded people down the drain with him. He knows he's lost, but he's gonna keep wasting all this money for no reason.
Hey, you know what? Somebody has to finance all these people to burn flags and throw rocks at the.
You're making political statements. I didn't say that. Now
Wait,
you're
what's
making
that?
political statements.
What?
You're making political statements. I didn't do that.
Well, I mean, they're sort of they have Bernie Sanders signs when they're rioting at the Trump rallies.
Well, where are you going with this? Stop now. We don't get political here. No, we don't get political here. We don't get political.
All right. Fair enough. But anyway, I think that we'd be amiss if we did not talk about the most important match going to this pay-per-view, the Rusev versus Jack Swagger match.
I forgot about that.
Actually, I was wondering, I have not seen Jack Swagger in freaking ages, and you get a full entrance coming out like the freaking champ. I'm like, oh, wait a second, he's from Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, is there any way Titus O'Neil can beat Rusev? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Titus O'Neil, he was wrestling, or he made a couple moves in a suit tonight, where I'm like, you know what? I don't think wrestling in jeans would be comfortable like Dean Ambrose does and Aces and Eights used to do. I can't imagine trying to give somebody a big boot in a freaking suit. I'd
be worried about ripping it. I mean, I wear suits all the time, bro. I mean, it wouldn't be something I want to fight in.
I don't like to walk quickly in a suit.
But even I agree, dude. And even your better suits are gonna be somewhat flexible material, and they're gonna shred upon contact to the mat. You know, they're not made to to be they're made to be in fights.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. And I mean, hey, you know what? I appreciate he wants to dress well, but it wasn't even a rip-away suit like Cesaro was sporting recently. It's that was like a designer, like full-on suit. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he looked good.
Quote Mark Henry, this ain't no Men's Warehouse. I love that.
I think that Teddy Long and Titus O'Neil have gone to the 2-for-1 sale.
Let me tell you, Teddy Long has the worst suits of any human that's ever lived. Those things. I mean, get a tailor, dude. Why are his suits that big? Like, why are they so huge? I mean, it's like a joke. I mean, they're enormous.
Well, he's a baller. I mean,
is that a gimmick? Like, I don't remember.
I mean, you've heard him. I mean, he mentioned like, "Hey, playa, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Wait a second, like, that's not Teddy Long I remember." But it was when he was on SmackDown. He was definitely like the OG authority figure.
I'm reading a forum. Teddy Long suits. I mean, this thread may be weird to some people. Does anyone else notice that Teddy Long suits are too big? Are too big on him?
Oh, and this isn't your forum. This is somebody else's forum.
But they're not that bad in these other pictures. Like the one he wore tonight was ridiculous. Like, some of these are just crazy, but he must shop at Casual Male XL for his. There's enough extra room for a tag team match to happen in there. I just assume giant suits made him think he looked fly.
What is that?
It makes him look fly. It's full of secrets.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, I didn't notice the monstrosity that is Teddy Long's suits, but I do appreciate it. It's so much more now because there's actually a forum dedicated to this.
I like his dancing, Teddy Long.
Who dances better, him or Shane O'Mac?
Shane O'Mac's a good dancer.
Yeah. What about Shane O'Mac or the New Day?
Shane O'Mac.
What about Brutus Clay or Shane O'Mac? Brutus Clay and Tensai.
Oh, Tensai was the best dancer I've ever seen.
Tensai, he was pretty spectacular. He moved like there was no tomorrow.
Well, that's not what when he danced. He was not Tensai.
Oh he was heavy tea.
He was sweet tea.
Sweet. Oh shit, sweet tea.
That was awesome, sweet tea, like to drink. Sweet tea.
And he wore the little Z Cavarici hat.
What were they called? Like Jurassic Powers or like dinosaurs? Like they had a name. The dinosaurs of Funk, Jurassic Funk, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was like Jurassic Funk or something like that. Tons of funk.
Oh God, tons of funk. That's terrible.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's funny because Tensai was actually like established in the lower world and a former college football player, and then Brutus Clay is just a big dude.
I guess what Teddy Long wears is called a zoot suit, and in the 1940s it was popular, which is like it's a super long, exaggerated suit.
Okay, so basically he's taking fashion choices from his choices are being somewhat inspired by the Vaudevillains.
Maybe, yeah. Well, the Vaudevillains are partying like it's 1899.
Well, you know what? That's pretty close. So, I mean, that was more than 7 decades in the past, both of them.
It's all.
I don't know. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win the tag team matchup? Is it gonna be? You think Gallows and Anderson win?
Definitely, without a doubt, I think they're gonna dominate.
Yeah, you know what? I think they almost. I don't want to say have to, but they haven't been. I mean, they've been pretty badass since they came in, but it was nothing decisive against the Usos. I mean, they ended up winning against the Usos, but it was like decisive ass kicking against them. I think they have the tag team goal that lends credibility to that stable, where they don't need to put a title on AJ. He doesn't need to chase titles. He can chase main event feuds or bigger feuds. But having the gold It's almost like the Shield, where they were tag team champions.
Can we talk about something more important? Do you know Hostess just recalled 710,000 cases of snack cakes and donuts?
I did not know that. What is the tragic reason for this?
Tainted.
Taint?
They're tainted.
I wouldn't want no taint.
Just telling you, man.
I don't want no taint on my snack cakes.
Just want you to know.
Thank you for the warning. Killer Kev, can we post a warning on the Angry Marks website about our tasty cakes?
Killer Kev is just very upset with us right now. He's very upset. But you know what? You know what, Big Dick? I think we've done our job here this week. I think we delivered a great show. You
know what else? I think Bernie Sanders deserves a trophy.
He does.
He didn't win anything. He didn't really do that much.
He tried.
But, yeah, you know what? He tried. I don't know. Do you think he tried hard? I mean,
he tried hard.
Shit. Okay, he tried. He tried hard. He could have a trophy.
But sometimes your best.
It was on the borderline there.
Sometimes your best isn't enough, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's like me. I'll go down to the park and play basketball every once in a while, and there's like 16-year-old kids who come out and they're like 6'6" and they look much better at basketball than me because of their basketball skills and basketball skills alone. But you know what? I still try hard, so I'm gonna have a trophy also.
Interesting. Well, thanks for joining me, man.
No problem, Rob. What do we have a upcoming schedule for what is on Nut Up or Shut Up or Love Up or Shut Up or
yeah, Killer Kev, what's going on the network?
The Jordan J. Garber show.
Whoa. What about the Jordan J. Garber show, Jordan's World?
Jordan's always got something going on in Jordan Garber's world. You can catch up with him at Twitter for that.
Why don't we hear what's going on in the network?
Well, tomorrow night on the Undisputed Wrestling Show, in the first hour, we have Ring of Honor star Jay Diesel. And in the second hour, we have independent wrestler, the King of Status, Brayer Wellington.
Interesting.
Wow. Whatever happened to that guy from last week or 2 weeks ago? I don't know his name. This is the last week we talked about it. The New Age Ninja.
The New Age Ninja.
Whatever happened to him?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
The New Age Ninja. You said you were going to interview him.
I don't remember anything about a ninja.
It was a fucking ninja, bro.
Play back the original. It was definitely.
It was the New Age Ninja put me to sleep, man.
We had the American Kickboxer on.
Who's that?
He's been like in independence for like 30 years. One of the more high profile names.
Oh, I should have known him. What did he talk about?
His wrestling career. What else do we talk about on the Undisputed Wrestling Show focuses on wrestling. They don't deviate to politics. They don't deviate to horse racing. They don't deviate to.
Whoa.
They don't deviate to the furniture store that's been closing for 45 years. They just do wrestling. That's all they know how to do.
Are you taking a shot at our format?
No, I'm not taking a shot at all. Our format is our format, but if you got to ask, on Undisputed Wrestling Show, what do they talk about? All they talk about is wrestling.
We talk about other stuff.
And Game of Thrones. Okay, I have to correct that. They've started.
We don't talk
about Game of Thrones. They do. We talk about our hometown. Yeah, we talk about our hometown.
But hey, check this out. In a couple of weeks, we're going to have the head of the Monster Factory, Danny Cage, back on.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yep. Last week we had Rory Fox on. He's going to come back in a couple of weeks as well.
Cool.
And then on June 21st, former WCW Cruiserweight Champion, 1/3 of one of the most awesome teams ever, Evan Courageous.
3 count.
Exactly.
Sing along with me. Here comes a 3 count. I forgot how the song went. Can't get you out of my heart. I should have known from the start. Or something like that, right?
I can't even remember.
So good. So good. We need those guys. I like 3 count. What about Stevie J?
Stevie J has been very busy covering the world of MMA lately, and right now he's in the middle of covering the passing of Mr. Kimbo Slice.
What's he think?
What does he think about what?
Kimbo.
He hasn't had time to put together his own thoughts. I'm sure he will in the next day or two. You can go over to AngryMarks.com and you can read all about it.
Well, there's not much you can really say about it. I mean, he either he died, so that sucks. So he must have an opinion.
He'll have one sometime, but right now, he's busy actually covering news.
We talked a little bit about it here tonight.
Yes, we did.
We love Kimbo. He's a man.
And also the passing of Muhammad Ali this weekend.
That happened as well.
Yeah.
I think people are just kind of hung up on Kimbo right now, to be honest with you. Just saying.
So who's going to be the next one that passes away?
Dada 5000 or whatever his name is.
God, I hope not. He suffered enough already.
What's his deal?
He had a stroke.
But no, I'm saying, why would anyone even put him in the ring?
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. We didn't know he had all this shit going on with him because he hid it. He's an ass. And he put his life at risk.
Maybe he should ask for a rematch.
Well, I don't think he's going to get one now. I don't think any MMA promoter is ever going to put him in the ring again.
Oh, I don't think so either.
He's done.
But think about all the stuff that was underlying with Kimbo, right? Which sucks. But what does that say about Ken Shamrock? It's done, man. Stop humiliating yourself. I love you. You're one of my favorite athletes ever. Can we just stop now? Are we done, Ken? Is it over? Please, Ken. Just come do your interview in Angry Marks. That is your destiny. And it's over. It's over. I really hope he realizes that. And I'll be here to interview him when he's ready. That's all. That's all I have.
So, Vic, any last words?
Nope.
Oh, he's awake.
I am, barely. I'm struggling. And the sad thing is I took a 2-hour nap this afternoon when I got home. I'm still struggling.
He's a beautiful guy.
You know who's a beautiful guy? Little Bernie Sanders.
He is a beautiful guy, isn't he? He really is a beautiful guy.
He is.
But you know what?
Him and he's nuts.
It's all over for the burn, man. It's all over. He's feeling the burn. I mean, think of all...
And it's not a speech this time.
Think of all the speeches and all the work he had to do. It's all wasted. For naught.
Coming second. Look at Hill.
Coming second. Maybe he could be VP.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to back.
All right, my guys. We're going to see everybody next week. It's been a great show. Thank you, Killer Kev. Thank you, Big Dick. Kimbo, baby. We'll see you next week.